Hi, this is Jenna Weigner's Roleplay, and we will be starting at a prenatal visit. What would you like your name to be?
Leanna.
Okay. Hi, Leanna. How are you doing today?
I'm alright.
Yeah? Hanging in there? Are you getting excited?
Yeah, kind of.
Kind of. Well, we got a few weeks left before time to rock and roll, huh?
Well, it's exciting, but also, kind of nervous because I don't know how things are going to be.
Yeah.
Like, I've never had a baby before. I've never seen anybody have a baby in real life. I've only seen it on TV.
Okay.
Where, happens in half an hour at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And, haven't really ever, seen a real birth or anything, or even YouTube videos to show, the baby coming out,
Yeah.
And I know with first-time moms, it can, it's not like I come in here and push the baby out and be right,
Yeah. Yeah, it is definitely a process. So, what part of it are you thinking about the most?
It being painful.
Yeah.
I mean, having a baby come out, I imagine that's not comfortable, and also not being able to control the situation, because I know that people have mentioned, and you've mentioned before, that part of birth is that you have to just let the process happen how it happens, and that you can't really control things. And that things don't necessarily happen on a schedule.
Yeah.
And I really like to know what's happening and be able to have a say over what happens to me in my body.
Yeah. Sounds like that's really important to you, being able to understand what's going on and be able to make decisions.
Sorry. As a pause, Leslie knows this about me. This is Leanna O'Gara, by the way. I hate reflective listening, so if I make faces at you, it's because of that, but totally do it because you're supposed to.
Okay.
But if I start getting agitated, it's because I hate reflective listening. Anyways, that is, really important that, I be able to have a say over it. And at one of our first visits, when I was telling you about what happened to me years ago, and not control over things, you said that I would be able to for the whole pregnancy and birth and everything, you'll ask permission before you touch me, and you won't do any exams if I don't want you to. And so I'm not worried about you necessarily or anything like that, but I can't tell the baby what to do, and I could leave a room and get away from you.
Yeah.
If I wanted to, I wouldn't have to be in the room with you. I could go be by myself, except for when I'm in labor. I can't tell the baby to stop.
Right. Yeah, your body's gonna do it.
And there's gonna be a lot of uncomfortable pressure, pain, whatever people call it. And I know when the baby's born, there are some things that you need to do, check for cord and stuff like that. So it won't, I won't really have as much say over what happens to me, and I won't be able to be okay, this is getting too intense.
Yeah.
We need to pause.
Yeah.
Labor doesn't just pause or work on your schedule.
Yeah.
So
can I ask you who your remind me again who's going to be at your birth with you?
My husband.
Okay.
And possibly my mom, and possibly my sister.
Okay.
My sister has kids, and so it depends on if she can make it. And my mom is invited and she can come, but she's already been told if she's just a spectator, she can't stay in the she has to be doing something useful. Okay. Useful for me, not things that she thinks are useful. Useful for me.
Okay. And does your husband know of your history and understand kind of where you're coming from?
He knows about it. I don't know that I would say understand.
Okay.
Because he hasn't had the experience himself.
Sure.
And so, I don't know that anybody who hasn't had the experience himself really understands. And even if they have had the experience, they aren't me. And so I don't know that anybody really completely understands. And he tries his best, but he's a guy, and he's not cold or closed off or anything like that, but he's tough and he can handle it, sort of stereotypical male attitude. And so, you know, I mean, he kind of understands, but at the same time.
Do you find him to be supportive of you?
He's supportive of me in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's supportive, and he's, also excited about the baby coming. But, like, I don't think he would understand how what happened to me is related to this. Because, like, it's not like this baby's a result of that, and that was a long time ago, and it wasn't him.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I kind of vaguely mentioned it a little bit, and he just seemed confused because, like, this isn't as a result of that, and, I don't even remember that much of it anyway. And so, he didn't really seem to understand, like, where the connection was between the two things.
So kind of going back to what you were talking about earlier about, being concerned about not being able to control what the baby's doing in your body and not being able to necessarily pause labor if you need to be able to pause labor. Can you think of anything that can help me in that situation help you better?
I've never had a baby.
Okay.
So, I don't know. Like, and part of my concern is that, like, I'll just want to run away from it. And I really want to have a baby at home.
Yeah.
But, like, if I was in the hospital and got pain medication, I'm afraid that maybe I'm going to need the pain medication in order to be able to, like, not feel things. I don't know if I'm going to be able to cope without it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Have you ever had a client who had this kind of history before? Like, how do other people do?
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely more common than a lot of people think. I found some clients who come in with the same concerns that you have, and then find that there comes a point in their labor in which they kind of mentally make a shift into letting go and then allowing their labor to progress. I have also seen women kind of fight their way through the entire thing, and I think that that's really difficult for them. It seems like being aware of potential difficulties sometimes is enough to kind of help you through them.
Okay.
So,
well, like, I mean, I know that, like, the potential difficulties could be, like, me not liking the pain or having, like, remembering things that I don't remember, or, like, even just remembering the sensations, and, like, there's somebody doing something to my body without my permission, even though it's a baby, it's not, like, trying to hurt me or anything. I'm worried about, like, that, and I don't know that, like, I mean, just knowing that I might freak out doesn't necessarily, I don't see how that'll help me with that.
I know that sometimes people have opted to get doulas, and there are doulas out there who kind of specialize in working with survivors. And so, I mean, that might be something that you could find somebody who would be willing to work with you on that, and then you can spend some time talking with her and debriefing with her, and she might even have some insights for you on how to sort of work through some of those experiences and sensations that we're talking about.
So some people do get, like, training, like they've, like, had classes on it and stuff, so they know about it.
Yes, there are trainings out there available.
And so she would have, like, probably been to more births with people who had that.
And you can interview several different doulas and kind of find the one that fits you best and feel like you connect with the most. And especially if, I mean, it sounds like your husband is great and supportive, but a lot of guys find themselves a little bit at a loss when they're in a childbirth situation. And
he likes to fix stuff.
And yes, labor is not something that you can fix until the baby is out. So I think that might be really challenging.
I've told him that before. You can't. It's not, because like if I have a problem with something, or if I want, like normally if I got for Tylenol or something, I'd be like, oh, what hurts? And and if it's a headache, you want to give me a massage and fix it. And you can't fix contractions, right?
No, not really.
Like without pain medication, you can't fix contractions.
It's true. Yes. Yeah. In terms of helping you maybe deal with some of the pain, have you taken any childbirth education classes? Remind me.
There's like that weekend intensive one.
Okay.
With his schedule, it's hard to be able to, really find a class that we can take because he has like the rotating schedule. He does shift work, and so there's not really a class we can take. But there's like the weekend intensive one, and he doesn't usually work. And we can like have his schedule be that he wanted to work. It's just like one day, all day on Saturday.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna take that class. And I was trying to like find something online maybe or something, but I don't know. He doesn't like to read. Okay. And if there are a lot of pictures, I don't know, and so and I want him to learn something. So I want to do that one so he'll know more about it. But then if there was something else online that of that I could do, I want more information. But I don't want to have to go to a class alone. I don't want people to like think that I like don't have a partner. Like
totally get that.
Yeah.
There are several resources out there in terms of suggestions for pain coping techniques. There's something out there called Play.wmv, but it is something that is also sort of partner involved, and you have to spend a lot of time ahead of time practicing with it. The other option too is again to talk to your doula. Doulas have all sorts of tricks up their sleeves in terms of coping with pain kind of ideas, and helping you figure out what works best for you.
Okay.
And then you can have a little bit of say in what kinds of things you want to try, be it water or massage, or if that doesn't interest you, different positions or kind of.
I don't know if I'm gonna want people to be touching me.
Sure.
We'll have to see, but sometimes like when people touch me, I don't even know what the ways are, but sometimes people will touch me and I just like have a bad reaction to it, and it's not anything that like I consciously do, but sometimes people will touch me and it's just
Where do you think that comes from?
It only started happening after. And so I would guess it's, from that, but I don't really remember. So I'm also kind of like worried about like, aside from, not being able to like be in control of the situation and not being able to stop it if I wanted to. I'm like also kind of worried about like, people, because, I know you guys will be just trying to help me, and I don't want to, I don't want to like be rude to people who are helping me.
Well, let me assure you that I have heard everything under the sun from laboring women, and there's nothing that you can say or do that will hurt or offend me in any way, shape, or form. So if it's something that you need to communicate, by all means, I would much rather have you communicate that to me or to your doula or to your husband, even if it comes out maybe not in the way that you would normally say it to us. That's okay, and I would much prefer understanding where you're feeling and how we can help you better. Labor often makes it difficult to communicate anyway.
Yeah.
But I don't want that to inhibit you in any way, shape, or form. Just know that whatever comes out of your mouth is fine.
Okay. And then, so I know that you said it's up to me when I get exams and stuff like that. But is there any required ones, or can I have the baby without ever being checked, or is there a
because you're a first time mom, and we can always talk about this. I like to do exams minimally twice for first time mothers. The first time being when you come in and we first see you. That just gives me a sense of where you are, in terms of how the baby's coming down, making sure what position it's in. And that one is actually even a tiny bit negotiable, perhaps. Okay. The other one that is kind of more important, and if I had to only do one, this would be the one that I would pick, is right before we want you to start pushing.
Before you want me to start pushing, or before I want to start pushing?
Before you want to start pushing. Because that's the one where I can check to make sure that all of your cervix is gone. Because if you start pushing too soon, it can actually cause more problems and make your cervix swollen, which makes it possible for the baby to come out.
Okay.
But if everything seems to be moving very quickly and it's not a problem, all the rest of them really are very negotiable. And often there comes a point in your labor in which I can hear a change in you that we can start talking about. When do you feel comfortable doing this, etc. So it's always a discussion. But just to let you know, there is one that I really, particularly for first-time moms, because your body hasn't done it before, I want to check to make sure that everything's ready to go before we really go home.
Okay.
Okay, that's time. Thank you so much, Leanna, for your help. Excuse me. Can you give me some feedback? Things I did well, things I did not so well.
I think that you did find you were good about, like, you know, addressing my concerns and coming up with suggestions on things. I don't know. I don't like that part. It's hard to do. Maybe like trying to maybe ask more about her partner. And I mean, you did that. You know, I mean, I did say that, you know, he doesn't seem to understand very much. But maybe like try to like suggest getting him more involved, because in labor, odds are she's gonna turn to him over you. I mean, the doula is a good idea because there's somebody else that she's met that she can have. Yeah. But you know, seeing if maybe, you know, I said he doesn't like to read, right? So, but you know, I mean, there are resources, other, you know, resources. Yeah. I don't know, I'd have her read When Survivors Give Birth or anything like that. I mean, she could, depending on the person. That may or may not be helpful. But I mean, you know, you said as far as, you know, knowing about the possible scenarios that could happen, that book was a lot. Mm-hmm. And so you could have her, you know, possibly, you know, read through that. Yeah. Depending on. I haven't read that one. Oh, okay. We had it required for one of our classes. It is, but she split our group up. Oh, okay. Half of us read it. But yeah, so, you know, I mean, like that book lists a lot of different, you know, resources for, women, as well as, you know, just, I mean, part of it's like, I mean, it's not directed towards the woman, but depending on her learning style and things like that, you know, it may work for her. And since you suggested knowing the things that could possibly come up, that book does have a list of things that could come up. But, yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much. All right.